Alright guys, welcome back to my channel again here. Today I wanted to talk about max performance using RTX 5090, your fastest gaming CPU. And the only reason why I'm making this video is like, okay, a lot of you guys think that squeezing max performance is a good thing, and we all try to do that. We buy our hardware and then we overclock it a little bit, we tune the RAM, we OC our GPU. But in reality, I'm going to show you something here pretty cool. I used again a Sugi Doom benchmark at 1080 at 4K using DLSS quality, everything on Ultra Nightmare, and that's maxed AMD CPU you can get. That he has, it's overclocked to the roof, right? And then the GPU running at 3300 megahertz. But I'm going to show you my 4900 KF, same way overclocked on a CPU and a memory, and GPU 200 megahertz less. I can run 3250, 3300 on this GPU. It's really good, but it gets hot. So anyways, 3100, somewhere around there is perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to load up in a map here and show you guys that it really doesn't matter. What you paid 3 years ago, playing in 4K, for example, let's say you pay 4900 KF 2 years ago, $500, right? Was it $500, somewhere on there? And then you got a really good motherboard, and you're thinking you're upgrading, buying your AMD 9950X3D in 4K, literally like thinking spending another $800 or even an Apex $700, and you think AIM-5 saved you because it's longevity. Well, it did not, because in the end it doesn't matter. You're going to see pretty much same performance in Doom between these two systems. You really won't notice it, right? If there is a difference, it'd be like 5, 6, 7, 8 FPS. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, the settings is the same settings, but I want to show you because some of you might say, oh, these are not the settings that it was used. So we got a 4K and DLSS quality. And down here I have HDR on. For some reason my Elgato looks better in this game with HDR on. Anyways, Ultra Nightmare. Alright, so yeah, we're loaded in the game. Okay. And if you take a look at his beginning there, it's gonna be the same burly thing. You're gonna see like 5 or 6 FPS difference, maybe somewhere 10. And I had to go back in this game just to go do the same way, right? Now the only difference you'll see is GPU overclock. That's it. And that's why the game is maybe, that 10 FPS extra. You'll see. But in reality, if you got 5090 and you're playing this game, you're gonna get about same darn performance. And by the way, this is 200 megahertz less, and there is a zero overclock on the memory too on this GPU. So this is really good area to be shooting at these people. The difference. Does your CPU help a lot? In this area. I mean, if you're playing in 4K, it really doesn't matter. But then, like I say, this is the same GPU, Intel CPU against most overclock AMD CPU you'll find in today in this world. And who cares, right? It plays the same. All right. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. You guys see that, right? Okay. Now this game is smooth as a butter on all these systems, so that doesn't matter. This is more like, do you need to upgrade your CPU from 3 years ago to play at the same level as max 9950X3D with like super heavy overclocked on the GPU. No, you do not. You really just need a CPU. And if you have a 4900K, still back 2 years ago, or even if you have 7800X3D back, whatever, 2 years ago, a year ago, I don't know. Yeah, you don't need it. Just tune it a little bit and make sure it's running smooth, stable on all the memory OCC tests, and Cinebench and all that good stuff. R15, R23, and then just enjoy it. Put that 5090 in there, and you can do a slight overclock. Like this card is not even overclocked to the memory, and it's only plus 100 actually, plus 200, 3200, and then I hit 3300 with plus 250, and it was stable. But I don't need it to be that hot, really. I like on the cooler things below 60C, and that's what it's set in, below 60 gaming. And it runs pretty darn good. Now, just keep in mind when you see these charts. Oh, I need the max OC system. Oh, I need the latest and greatest. Yeah, get a 5090 fine, but then for CPU, if you're playing 4K, you don't need it latest and greatest. You're fine with everything. Now, I don't know how this test would be in 1080p. I'm gonna say that Intel will take advantage on this benchmark in 1080p, but then again, who cares, right? A lot of people play 4K. A lot of people play in 2K too. That's a really popular resolution. I think a lot of people are getting away from 1080p. That's more for like CPU testing, who's the fastest. But in the end, even if you have an Arrow Lake, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, you're gonna see Cadver Box complaints and all that, but in the end, it doesn't really matter, guys, because it's all about how you enjoy the games. So now, this is just scientific stuff. This is no competition. No, nothing saying bad about any of it. This is just the way you guys should be thinking. I know a lot of stuff on X, Twitter, YouTube. There's a lot of negative people talking about negative things. We need to stay as community, because this is all gaming community. We need to stay away from drama as less as possible. Which system is better? Which system is faster? Yes, they have flaws. Intel has lots of flaws. AMD has a lot of flaws. They both do, really. They both do. These companies are trying to. Now, do they make same mistakes every time? Intel makes some mistakes every time. AMD makes a lot of mistakes every time, and they're repeatable. But in the end, they're doing their best, man. They're doing their best to give you guys the best experience. There's no hate about AMD on my channel. There's no hate about Intel on my channel. All there is about scientific data. What do you need? What's fastest? And that's that. Whatever is fastest, hands down, that one wins, right? Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.